My name is Zhiming Li. I'm top of that network simplification. I work for Huawei more than over 15 years, and most time in the world is mobile network. And now that recently I touched to the cloudification and automation part. So that's my major interest in right now. And today we just share what we have some challenge facing today and what's the way we tackle this challenge. And consider that the content here is some sensitive information here. Please no camera shouting at this moment. Thank you very much. And the first, I think that's that's the figure. I think most people are very common see that is the OPEX, CAPEX as revenue, right? That's all the operator, that revenue is close to the flat recently. Some operator more than 10 years, they are flat. However, that's the OPEX. That's the quite huge chunk. That's more than 70% in current. That's in the whole cost. And we still see that the traffic still goes up. That's many operators in many regions already have offer on limited date, and they mean that their OPEX will not startable if that's no solution appear. And if we deeper into the OPEX part, so that's the most based on the Huawei, that's a long time, that's engineer experience, and based on that consulting service from the industry, we know that's the most OPEX happening. That's the major two field. The first one that's in the site. So that is very basic operation. That's the power issue, air conditioning, or security. There's no intelligence on the site. So that's everything goes wrong. That's people need to go to the field and fix that. Another part is for the radio and fixed access. So the most part is especially for the radio network. That's network optimization and also tune and transport connection troubleshooting. And this is time consuming. And if you add a new site and if you launch a new service, that's radio, also a new antenna. So everything that's need labor work to fix the manually. So that is the time consuming part. So cause a lot of cost here. And besides those OPEX challenge, and we still have some new technology challenge as well. So we are also familiar that's for the 5G, as the BT gentleman mentioned, that the 5G is coming, right? And we see that the architecture evolve. That's more antenna comes, and also we see that's the high band carrier used, and downlink uplink is not equal anymore. So we need a new advanced solution to address this equal coverage issue. And we have standalone, not many options here. And we can see that's the new band expanded for the microwave, right? So that's that's the site number. That's 2 times compare we have today. And the power, that's ARM gentleman mentioned, that's the power. So for miscellaneous power is nightmare. I think for the traffic volume goes up, that's the power is another challenging thing. And also that's considered that all operator already invested that equipment need to be kept for some time for certain region. And all those access network need to be coexist for a while, and also for the OPEX parties for the operation and assurance support. And this is so that's everything's related on OPEX, and also this new part altogether, and also enable some new service fantastic come up, right? And the base per challenge we facing in the OPEX domain, and also we see that new service, and also imagine that's in the future. So all the service not offered by the operator himself alone. It will be a hybrid cloud. So that's public cloud today. So will be fully accessible from mobile for new service. And so that's telecom cloud need to support this the telecloud and the public cloud connectivity all the time in terms of that's the connection and also for the public service, including machine learning, artificial intelligence, and also for big data. So and also for other new applications as well. And for the transport part here, that is the basic job due by the operator, and their transport network need to reach that remote area to industry room and to the zone. This area never covered by the connection before. So on the ground, this once the network reach to the industrial zone, that's the fiber or wireless connection need to be flexible to support on-demand traffic support. And also then part is operation. That's typical work we have today. And we need to find a new way. Otherwise, that's the whole industry cannot sustain developing. And we also need to distinguish ourselves from other operators in the same market. So we need operator need to build new service, so that they need to have a customized service to a certain market and for certain customer. So make sure that their service unique to the customer and enable that ICT to thriving. So that's our industry working right now, and the technology should enable that. The last one, that's we do not take at the post-active way. So we have intelligence in the network, and we need to take that proactive action to prevent action happen. So that's you are aware that the Boeing already have a lot of sensor on the plane, so they can predict some certain fault in advance, then send people to the plane and fix that in advance and improve the efficiency. So that similar story will happen in our CT domain. And before the solution come out, that's we just want to keep everyone here. It says in our solution we follow these three major principles to derive our solution. The first one is intelligence. So all the OPEX work happens before is there's no data collection. There's all the engineer labor work not shared, not recorded correctly, and those patterns cannot be need to be transferred to man to man. So there's not learned by the machine. If this pattern can be learned by people and executed by machine, so that's a huge cost saving. And also we move a lot of work from the site or transport to the cloud, so that resource can be shared. And so we can just have a centralized management and reduce the cost. And also that's for solution part, that's with this unified architecture and protocol to simplify the whole end-to-end solution to allow operator to maximum the value of this intelligence and cloud. So that's protocol, architecture, and the site. So that is the most key component we have today, but we use a new way to build this one. And this is overall picture. So the first one that is a fabric part. So that's please no photo. Thank you. And this part, I think that's for the transport. I think that before we have a lot of transport. We need to reach the site, and also consider the mobile edge computing comes, and those site need to allow the content can be injected to the site, and also allow that the public service can be close to the site. So that collection need to be flexible on demand. So that's allow that the traffic from mobile, from fiber, and also from third party can converge and switched here. So that's we use a fabric. So that's we can reduce a lot of cost here. Second part is the site. So we know that's the carrier. That's more carrier that goes up. More carrier is added, and also that's the site deployment will be challenged in terms of that's the weight, the power assumption, and also that's the the office rental office room to install this antenna. So this is quite challenge. And another part here is the automation. That's that's automation right now. I think in this week, there's a lot of automation mentioning the manual part here is for telecloud automation. But we far beyond that, we extend to that's the transport and also the site. So make sure that's end-to-end that automation can be achieved. And last one that is convergence. I think that's this is addressed as multiple generation network coexist. So we support this convergence and fully utilize advanced concept into the 5G, use as SBA, use HTTP protocol to enable it. And just a brief summary here. And go to that, the please no photo, thank you. And on the left side, we see that's tower we have today. So that's for the 2G, 3G, 4G. So that's each band. So each mode and TD, FDD, and no carrier. And you have MIMO there, so they have different antenna. This is titled coupled. So antenna need a BB in the RU, so that's RU need also with this one. So that's also those part need also sometimes it's RU in the downstairs need a cabin, so that's a footprint. And those is complexity that will be replaced with one. This one that is antenna, that's two antenna, cover all the carrier. And also we have BBU covered as different MIMO. And they have a common that's either centralized RAN. So that's all the processing will happen here. And we simplify the fiber. So that is the cost that will dramatically change. And the number we do not share here, but that's we know that is quite amazing. And this one here is for the transport part. That's before that we have IP and the fiber layered connection. So that's from site traffic go through the IP aggregation, then go to the core IP core, then go to the optical. That's hop. That's mainly things that's topology change and traffic routing modification is cause a lot of OPEX increase. And to address this issue, we introduce this one. So we have simplified. That's one access, one core part, and the support slicing, and simplify that's the flat architecture. So that is the way. And here that's we extend that's the current that's we discard that's current layered segmenting the I think that is a tunnel protocol here. From site to DC, that's a multiple aggregation or encapsulation in different layer. So that is the troubleshooting is a nightmare. And in the future, so that's one hop. That's from site to the application. Just one hop could be done. So that is we see that will benefit that's for the new ICT service. And this one that is for the 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G coexist. So that's before that's all the gateway need to have connect different component for different function, charging, policy, and for mobility. And right now that's considered for the ICT that's user will have a multiple connection to different applications, so they need a distributed access in different area. And from this traffic intensive node, so their operation will be simplified to have one connection to the control gateway. And for the rest of thing will addressed by this gateway. They are very, very simple. They just plug and play, then bingo, you can go. And this one, that's operation part. That's I think this is a legacy OSS. Everything is silo. That's a typical performance and fault management, now testing, planning. Everything is silo, And in the cloudification phase, we already do partially work. We are still in the middle process. But we think more advanced here. So that's we put everything in a one umbrella. So that's the service component capability can be inventory managed, and also you have test analytics, and you have big data engine, and also besides that. We have for initiation, we have the service configuration in place. And also we can take that, consider those input and use the data engine to take a proactive action to address issue in advance. And everything can be in the portal way, so that is use that centralized way to reduce the cost. So let's conclude this presentation here. So we see that operator, if they have this solution in their mind, so that will enable them to go very fast and to become an ICT service enabler. And we do believe that with this brain here and with some solution component on the layer here, will allow them to be a service provider, service creator, and enable the ICT industry transformation. That's all. Thank you. And yeah.